I miss what was and am excited for what will be. I believe it is human nature to look back fondly on activities, foods, people, or life as a whole that took place when life was simpler, when life made sense. For me, that time period is middle school into high school. My time was monopolized by a love of sports and gaming, and at the time, I didn't think I'd ever care for anything outside of those things, much less care for something more than those things. My obsessions with the Call of Duty Zombies canon, raging at Madden Online, or trying to make sniper montages feel so straightforward and deep in hindsight. Same can be said for my love for college football Saturdays or Chelsea soccer. Looking back, there never seemed to be a shadow of a doubt as to why I cared about those things, or if they were things worthy of my attention. They just made sense. Life just made sense. As you may be able to tell, despite it being pretty early on in this essay, I am a true blue nostalgia fiend. I love it. I may even live for it. Sometimes, I wonder if I'll enjoy an experience more in the moment as it's happening, or later on when I get that sweet, sweet wave of the good old days. Regardless, I'm definitely one to look back fondly on what was, to miss what was. Even the things that weren't that glamorous, just the fact that they happened in the past almost makes them more appealing? Does that make sense? For example, in high school, I woke up every morning at 5:45. I had school from 7 to 2, football practice or conditioning until about 5, and finally another workout until about 7. I did that on and off, depending on the time of the year, for 2 to 3 years. That was a grind, and that sucked. That sucked. But I think I miss it. I miss having coffee with my mom hours before the sun came up. I miss how well I used to sleep after I'd come home from a day like that. I miss how long the hour-long gaming session would feel with my friends before I had to call it quits because it was a school night. I look back so fondly on a time that I, unequivocally, do not want to recreate or go back to. It seems backwards, doesn't it? How can I miss, how can I long for something that I don't actually want? And yet, here I am doing it. And I'm willing to bet you are too, right now. For much of my life, if you asked me what my greatest fear was, I would answer, without hesitation, the unknown. I thought I was so deep and mysterious for that answer. It is true, though, I had a deep and genuine fear of the unknown. I just didn't realize at the time that I really meant the future. The future was something I couldn't control, and something that I, funny enough, didn't think I could influence, despite it being my own future. I liked living with my parents. I liked talking about how much I hated homework or stressing about a summer reading project that I definitely did not do. I liked not having to really worry about anything too serious, and I wasn't ready to give that up. I may have thought I wanted more responsibility, but whenever presented with a real situation, I can assure you that I was much more comfortable handing that right to responsibility off to my parents in my early teens. I carried that greatest fear with me until very recently. Now, I find myself very excited for the unknown. I find myself excited for the future. That's not to say there aren't lingering doubts or fears associated with what's next. I'm not crazy, don't get me wrong, but I find the excitement is stronger than that fear now. I didn't get to this point overnight. It quite literally has taken me my entire life to get here, but it's quite the refreshing feeling. Now, I think it helps that I've found small bouts of success up to this point in my life. I've thrown myself into some difficult situations and have grown through those experiences. And I've challenged myself to accomplish things that, whether or not they went my way, prove that if I set my mind to something, I can at least get close to it. It's awarded in me a trust that I can lean into when faced with new challenges. A trust that I will probably be okay on the other side. A trust that I believe more people should have within themselves. Or at the very least, a trust that this too shall pass when things get dicey. I want to acknowledge that I'm in a prime position to not fear the future. I have a stable job, my family is healthy, and I have a healthy relationship with my beautiful girlfriend. I am currently in the fairest of weathers to say life ain't too bad in. But regardless of that timing or that fair weather, I have found it very interesting to simultaneously long for the past while being excited for the future. It feels like I'm being pulled in two directions, and those directions shouldn't, in theory, be able to coexist. And yet here we are. I guess, in the meantime, I'll try to appreciate the now. Because I hope one day I'll really enjoy living those days that my kids will one day be nostalgic of. Like waking up and having coffee way before the sun comes up. Or hearing them laugh for an hour or so with their friends before they call it quits because it's a school night. Maybe I'm not afraid of what's next because I'm so sure it will be similar to what was. Or maybe I'm just really hoping it will be. Either way, I miss what was while being excited for what's next. And I think that's okay. And that you could too. Thank you for watching.